so today's video is going to be a little different than normal. It's not going to be a vlog type. Recently, I've been doing Halloween makeup looks and posting them to my Instagram, and a lot of people have been liking them, and people have been asking me to make a video on it, so here I am, even though there's like thousands of videos online. I'm not a makeup artist by any means. I just like to play with makeup, so that's what we're going to do today. So what I'm going to try to do is this thing I found online. I'll insert a picture, and it's like halfway cut through your face with safety pins through it. So it's kind of like your safety pins holding your face together. For my work, we have a fun run tonight, and it's a haunted fun run. So this is what I'll have for the registration table. This is what my Halloween costume will be. So before we start, I'm going to be using latex and cream paint today. If you don't know if you're allergic to cream paint or latex, before you do this, do a patch test, because you don't want to have an allergic reaction, because that would just not be good. So we're first going to start off with the latex, and so it's going to kind of cut through here, so I'm not going to have to like glue down my eyebrow or anything. I'm going to pull up my reference picture so I know exactly what I'm doing. I found this picture on Instagram. So first I'm just going to start laying down the latex. So, oops, all you need is toilet paper and or cotton balls. And the liquid latex. And so I just got disposable little paintbrushes from Walmart to lay it on, because I used an actual paintbrush the first time I used latex and it destroyed the paintbrush. So now I'm using little cheap ones. So I'm editing the video right now, just looking over the footage, and I realized that I thought I was recording the whole part where I glued the tissue paper down on my face, but I guess I wasn't. So I'm not going to redo that makeup on my face because I don't want to redo it. So I'm just going to explain how to do it real quick, and then if you really want to know how to do it more, there's millions of places you can look on the internet. So basically, all you need is liquid latex, disposable paintbrushes, because it'll ruin good paintbrushes, and liquid latex. And you just put the tissue paper on, paint the liquid latex on, not too heavily so that it'll dry, and just keep moving around all the way down until you have the surrounding area done. And you can pack it on top if you want it to be more pushed down, but it's pretty much just painting, making sure it's dry, seeing if it's stable, and then going over it again if you need it. That's pretty much it. I do cover my face in foundation because it is a wound, so it's part of the skin. So that didn't make it into the video either, but it'll make it look more realistic if you do cover it with foundation. I've been turning it on and off. It's recording now. Well, I may have not recorded any of what I've done so far. I guess we'll see.
Forget our donation. Hey, you want to show me? Are you busy right now?
No, I do that.
Yeah, will you show me how to get Premiere Pro on my thing? I'll bring it up.
So I'm not quite sure if anything is recorded so far. So if it hasn't, I'm just going to recap real quick. Liquid latex, toilet paper, glued it to my face. Now I've just gone and done my base makeup, and I contoured harder than I normally would have because I want kind of the effect that, you know, you're kind of really strung out and like kind of like a Tim Burton character. You're really chiseled out more than I normally would. So now I'm just gonna finish doing this, and then we'll get on to putting the paint in the middle. So I'm using just a little sponge that came with the liquid latex. So I'm going to start off with the black cream paint because I want there to be like depth in the middle of it, and it'll make the blood that I'm going to be using, the vampire blood, it's going to make it look darker. So you can see there's a little gap here, and that's what I want. There's no gap here, but I'm going to illustrate one with the darkness. So I'm going to take another one of my paintbrushes, the paint on the back of my hand, and just kind of start creating a bit of a depth down here. And you can just kind of be sloppy with it, because if you make it a straight line, it's not going to look like a wound. So that's kind of my take on this. The sloppier kind of it looks, the more realistic it looks. So we're gonna put the black through. And now we're gonna switch to some blood, which this is a lot more liquidy. It's not like a cream like the paint. So I'm gonna put it directly on the sponge, in just little bits at a time, because it likes to soak through. And so we're just gonna start. Drop that on the table. Just start dabbing it through, and you can tell like it's a really. Just sweep that up. It's a really like pink red for the blood, so I'll end up mixing in some of the black as we go through, so it looks more realistic. You also want to pull the blood like off of like the latex wound, so it blends with your face a little bit better, and so that it looks more realistic. So we're gonna mix a little bit in with the paint now, because it's a very like pink based blood, which isn't bad. It just that looks a little bit more realistic, like a wound. Just blend that down. More blood. Try not to spill it on the tablecloth this time. Put the sponge around. And pretty much you're just continuing to add blood until you're happy with what it looks like. And I have paint everywhere. I'm just gonna take this little cotton ball here, actually. In case you don't have a sponge, you can try a cotton ball. This is actually gonna work really well.
So what I mean, yeah, kind of, I wouldn't say it's smart.
Well, I have too much stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so what you should do is you have two flash drives and put them both on both flash drives. That way you have two spots for them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
Well, I
do it
can
that
do
way.
that.
Yeah, that would probably be the safest, that way you don't lose anything. Just in case one of them gets corrupt, because if you corrupt the flash drive, you should put it back. What I do is I have a friend I have a C drive, so it has everything that I've ever done on my computer, it automatically backs it up on there.
Yeah, I don't have that as a computer inside.
Old.
No, it's not even old.
But I mean, old like as in it's slowing down.
But I can't, I have too much stuff on my phone. I don't want to delete
So you
stuff.
can't back up the stuff on your phone on there.
Yeah. So, because I want to room. And I just cleaned out all my docs from high school.
I did some really dark smoky makeup and kind of pulled it out so it looked kind of like I had a black eye. I wanted a lot of darkness on my face. And I did two different methods for putting the paper clips in. For the first one, I glued it on, and the second one, I just kind of poked it in and didn't clip it all the way through. It's a lot, and it's kind of hard, but you gotta be careful not to pull the latex and pull it completely off. So I'm just gonna kind of stick them in, and if they fall out, I guess they fall out, but, well, I dropped one. But yeah, so I'm gonna continue just kind of pushing them in. So I'm gonna look in my mirror. I'm not gonna look at the camera because that would be way too hard. Because I also don't want to poke myself in the face, because that would not be fun.
I'm gonna talk now. It's gross. It's gross.
Is she stapling her face?
It looks so real. It's like giving me anxiety.
I poked myself in the face.
Can I go next?
Can I go next?
So there's another one through. I'm gonna do like 10 or so. I'm gonna not do it around my nose because that's right on my nose, and there's not much thickness through there, and I really don't want to poke my nose. So I'm just gonna continue doing this. It's kind of pointless for me to keep showing you the same thing.
Sure?
So I'm gonna stop recording, and then I'll show you kind of like my end result. I'm gonna stop it.
Did you just drop one?
Alrighty, so I ended up sticking, I think, like 5. Drop my mirror, 5 or so in. I kind of pushed them through and let them sit, and then I took a little bit of latex on the part that was on like the actual tissue paper, and I latexed it down and then covered it up with more of the black paint, so it looks like it's actually sticking through my face. So if you want to get a little up close thing. Chelsea is thoroughly freaked out. She thinks it's super disgusting, and she hates that she's helping me film right now. And I threw some dark lipstick on to make it look more vampy and scary, but yeah, this is pretty much what we're working with. I hope that this tutorial helped you a little bit. If not, I hope you enjoyed me making myself look really scary. Now I'm gonna go scare a bunch of people at a fun run. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!